Walking through all green fields as November ends and December begins. Today is December 2nd, and you are listening to the Arbitrage Weekend News. I'm your host, Darin Harper, bringing you 3 things you need to know for this weekend, 2 interviews that include Leaving the Leaves and Genuine and Kind, 2 blogs including Daniel's financial deep dive on building your savings, muscle, and Santa Baby, where are you from? Also check out the winner and loser this week in the market. S&P runs to almost 4,600, NASDAQ over 14,300, and the pump continues. The 10-year plummets to 4.21, and WTI crude drops below $75. Here's 3 things. Pfizer has decided to stop production of its 2-a-day weight loss pill after patients stopped taking it due to gastrointestinal side effects. Pfizer shares dove 5%. Despite the rivalry and even owning its own space program, Amazon employs SpaceX to deliver satellites for its Project Kuiper, using 3 Falcon 9s. The Amazon's Kuiper program competes with SpaceX's Starlink network. Here are the bigs for next week. Monday brings us Australia's rate decision. Tuesday, U.S. Global Services PMI, ISM non-manufacturing PMI and prices, and the JOLTS job openings. Wednesday is ADP non-farm employment change, crude oil inventories. Thursday is initial job claims and Japan GDP. And Friday, German CPI, U.S. average hourly earnings, non-farm payrolls, and unemployment. Trade while you sleep and across time zones with Arbitrage Trade Assist. Sign up today at arbitragetrade.com. Arbitrage Trade is your trusted source for business, finance, and tech info.
When it comes to making plans, you are the best. What about those round trips that you plan in advance, which are perfect on your way there and perfect on your way back? Or those meetings with friends for which you make a group chat 3 months before so that nobody or anything is missing. Or your daughter's first birthday party. You planned it with such dedication that instead of the first, it felt like our 15's. The same way you plan each detail for those moments. Start planning to protect you and your loved ones from a natural disaster. Sign up for local weather and emergency alerts. Prepare an emergency kit, and make a family communications plan. Protecting your family is the best plan you can make. Get started at ready.gov/plan.
Brought to you by FEMA and the Ad Council.
Hello, Caroline. Welcome back from the holidays. How are you?
Oh, still full from my turkey.
Oh, yeah, me too. I ate way too much and cooked way too much and then probably ate again. But
y'all.
Right? So what are we doing today? What are we talking about today?
So, something that happens around the falls and the holidays, especially I think around Thanksgiving, is raking leaves.
Don't remind me. Don't remind me. Trees everywhere.
Well, my old house built in the 50s. We've got some beautiful tall oak trees.
Oh, yes. They're pretty.
They are gorgeous, and they provide some good shade in the summer.
Yeah.
But then in the fall,
yes,
the leaves come.
It's time to work. It's time to work.
Weird people. I don't mind raking.
Oh, okay.
It's putting it into bags that I hate.
Hey, fair enough.
But this year.
What'd you do?
Okay. Oh, not me.
Okay, I'm like.
According to the U.S. Department of Agriculture, we should leave the leaves.
Leave the leaves.
Leave the leaves. They have a campaign to avoid sending bagged fallen leaves to landfills.
Oh, fair enough.
Instead, let them be.
Let them be. Okay.
Leave the leaves.
I like it. So
right?
We're going to be more more earth conscious.
Right. So, and especially driving around here, you see those houses. I mean, we would bag 15, 20 bags and be half done.
But what about those neighborhood associations?
Well, maybe we need to send them to the USA. I don't have a homeowner association.
Oh, so I wish we didn't.
But leaves and other yard debris account for more than 13% of the nation's solid waste.
Oh, wow.
And, that stuff, it could be
adds up.
Composted and it adds up. So we could use it for other things. So one common solution, especially a lot of people with a lawnmower, they can go through on the mulcher setting and shred the leaves.
Oh, okay.
And then leave it there. It can help be used for fertilization. There are some critters and animals, turtles, toads, lizards, birds, mammals, they rely on these leaves
to
help provide some warmth and insulation.
Okay, I like it.
And so if you rake it all up, you're taking that away.
That makes sense.
Some of those animals.
So I know, like our dog, Pepper, he loves the leaves. He's like, like literally, he will dive through them, jump over them.
Like if you make a pile.
Yeah. Oh yeah. He's all over the leaves. So he's like, yes, please leave the leaves.
Okay. So Pepper is definitely behind USDA here. Yeah. So you do have to be careful. Obviously, what types of leaves and where have they fallen? Like I live, close to the park.
Yeah.
And so a lot of people walk along our sidewalk to get to the park, kids and strollers and dogs and stuff. So I need to keep my sidewalk cleared off because especially when it rains, the leaves can get slippery. So, pay attention to things like that. So we're trying to keep our sidewalk cleared off, that kind of thing.
But backyard is fair game.
My backyard needs a lot of work. So backyard, I'm leaving alone.
Good deal. I like it.
You can also make what's called leaf mold, which at first I thought was kind of funny, but it's from the EPA. But it's a type of compost.
Okay.
You can pile the leaves in a corner of the yard, sprinkle on a fertilizer, and water it periodically so it doesn't get dried out and be a fire hazard. Yeah. And it may take a year or two, but they will break down to a nutritious soil that you could then use in your gardens. So, collect them in one spot, let Pepper jump in them.
Oh, yeah. He'll hide in them. Like, Pepper, are you in there? And then, surprise.
So this fall, remember, leave the leaves.
I will definitely leave the leaves. And if you want to learn more about this, go to arbitragetrade.com/blog and take a look. Thank you so much, Caroline, for letting us know we should leave the leaves.
Thanks, Royce.
What is dedication?
My daughter started making necklaces. She makes what we call affirmation fashion. I tell her every day that your black is beautiful. Your black is beautiful. And if there's anything better than being beautiful, it's being smart. And if there's anything better than being smart, it's being kind. And reaffirming that every day is our method of making sure her chin never drops. My dad wasn't around. And I remember riding a bike and falling off and cutting myself, and me never just wanting to get back on it. People ask, how your children learn how to ride a bike, and you didn't. I didn't teach them. I just created an environment where they taught themselves, and all I had to do was be there.
That's dedication. Visit fatherhood.gov to hear more. Brought to you by the U.S. Department of Health and Human Services and the Ad Council.
Hello, Darin. How are you doing?
Royce, I'm good.
It's that time of year again, man.
It is. It's December.
It's December and
right
Christmas.
Yeah.
And there's a naughtiness. There's a nice list. My kids are always trying to be on the naughty list. I mean, the nice list. But sometimes, basically we have to reevaluate how things look, I guess. Put in a different lens sometimes. Sometimes, basically, people equate like being nice as being weak or being naughty or as being aggressive, right? So let's try to talk about something like that and basically see where we go.
Oh, you mean like nice guys finish last and
exactly
they don't get the girl and
because they're
like
too
that.
Nice and why do nice finish last? Is it because are they considered weaker? Are they considered too easy? Is it what's
that's crazy. This culture doesn't reward kindness. I mean,
no, sometimes basically that kindness is actually taken advantage of. So they're like, oh, if I can keep asking them as long as they don't say no, what's the harm in asking?
That's true.
Right?
Can I borrow $500,000 for us?
Absolutely, from someone else.
Oh, dang. He went from nice to naughty.
Hey, sometimes you have to set boundaries. You have to establish them, and you have to keep them because basically
there's a boundary, yes.
Even when raising children, you have to set boundaries.
Oh, you got to learn to say no, too.
Yeah, no is the biggest part of being a parent, believe it or not. And sometimes you're seen as the fun parent, sometimes the not so fun parent when you have to say no. But believe it or not, the parent that says no the most usually is the one that they respect the most in the end.
That's true. There's been many times I would think, man, my dad could be really a disciplinarian, but now it's like, wow, he really was teaching me things I didn't know about.
Because there are no free rides unless you ask for them and they give them to you. So yeah, don't let that happen to you.
Right. Well, I used to be asked, why do I smile all the time? I mean, what kind of culture asks you
Why do you smile? It's like, I'm allowed to be happy,
can
right?
I not be nice and
Can I be
friendly and be kind and not be looked at as I have an agenda? I mean, come on.
But that's just it. Most, I guess, statistically, most people do have an agenda or something that they may want or may not want. And they sometimes, I'm going to use this word very tongue-in-cheek, manipulate others into getting what they want. Right. So you have to be very, very careful in how you interact with people and make sure that like everyone is not your friend.
You have to evaluate your relationships.
Yes. And I'm sure, if I'm trying to stay on Santa's nice list, yes, you can say yes, but don't overextend, and always make sure that you realize that your time is important too.
You've got to take care of yourself. If you want to take care of others, you got to take care of yourself first so that you can.
Yep. Don't be a sacrificial lamb for anybody.
Right. I have another saying, of course.
Let's hear it.
Got to bring at least one a week, but
at least one.
Sophocles.
Okay, yes. What did he say?
He said, "Kindness gives birth to kindness." See, that was nice.
Yes. See, and basically, you put good out there, good comes back to you.
100%. That's not why you do it.
No, that's not.
But a lot of times, that's what happens. Yes.
But if you practice it, it inevitably comes back to you. Well, thank you, Darin, so much for being on the nice list and not the naughty list.
Yeah, I didn't even know yet.
Right? And if you like what you've heard so far and you want to read more about it and how to set more boundaries, go to arbitragetrade.com/blog for more. Thanks again.
Ho, ho.
The impact of a meal goes well beyond feeding our bodies, because when people don't have to worry about where their next meal is coming from, they can truly thrive, like Marta.
And now we'll hear from our class valedictorian, who with our hard work never ceases to amaze us. Please welcome Marta Moreno.
And Alex.
Hey, Alex, how did the interview go?
I did it! I got the job! I can't believe it!
I knew it. Let's meet up later to celebrate.
And Diego.
Mom! I got first place at the science fair with my volcano project.
That's amazing, sweetie. Congratulations.
Because when people are fed, futures are nourished, and everyone deserves to live a full life. Join the movement to end hunger at feedingamerica.org/actnow. feedingamerica.org/actnow. A public service announcement brought to you by Feeding America and the Ad Council.
Building your savings muscle. We all know how challenging it can be to save money. The end of the month arrives and you think you've done well, only to realize you've overspent by $300 and now must dip into your savings or maybe even throw it on a credit card. Or perhaps you managed to save $300, but then your car starts making a strange noise, and the problem isn't that it happens once, it seems to occur every month, leaving no savings by year's end. Fortunately, there's a scientific method to help form and maintain better habits, and in this context, to save more money. James Clear's book, Atomic Habits, introduces 4 foundational concepts for habit formation: cue, craving, response, and reward. These habit loops reflect how our brains are wired. Fortunately, Clear reveals the secret to forming new habits and breaking old ones. Make it obvious, attractive, easy, and satisfying. Firstly, we need a cue to save money and make it obvious. This could involve setting a bi-weekly reminder when you receive your paycheck to transfer 10% into a savings or investing account. Enhance this habit by making the account easily accessible, perhaps by adding its app to your phone or computer's home screen. Having made the cue obvious, we now need to make the activity attractive. Accomplish this by pairing this activity with something you enjoy. For instance, treat yourself to your favorite frappe or a cookie each time you transfer money to your savings. Pairing a new habit with an enjoyable activity is an effective way to ensure it sticks. Additionally, engaging with people who share a similar goal and sharing your progress can provide motivation. With the habit now attractive, let's simplify it. The best way is through automatic transfers, which eliminate the mental effort of remembering to transfer money each payday. Alternatively, set reminders perhaps with a calendar invite that includes a link to your savings or investment account. This minimizes friction while still fostering habit formation. Many people also find budgeting apps helpful to track spending and identify areas to cut back, thereby increasing their savings potential. The most crucial step for long-term habit maintenance is making it rewarding. If your goal is to save $100,000 for a house down payment, it might feel like slow progress. However, setting smaller milestones with rewards like a nice dinner or a new pair of shoes upon consistent habit adherence makes goals feel achievable. A visual representation of your savings can also be motivating. Creating and maintaining new habits is never easy, but it's always rewarding in the long run. Consistency is key to building new habits, even if progress seems slow initially. It's always important to adapt and adjust your approach as you learn what works best for you.
Hi, I'm Elizabeth Rome. I've played many roles in television and film, but today I'm speaking as myself about a cause that's very dear to my heart. The Cancer Prevention and Treatment Fund provides free help to those who have cancer and those who wish to prevent it. They've also banned cancer-causing chemicals from our homes and neighborhoods. Your donation makes a difference because 98 cents of every dollar pays for programs and services, not fancy salaries or events. As a mom, I'm thankful that they've helped ban cancer-causing chemicals from our toddler toys and baby bottles. They continue to fight the same fight to keep these chemicals out of our playgrounds, pizza, and soda cans. Please donate today to the Cancer Prevention and Treatment Fund at stopcancerfund.com.
Santa baby, where are you from? December has slipped in all of a sudden. You just got done with turkey and pie, and guess what? Christmas falls on a Sunday and will be here in a little over 3 weeks. Yep, just 3 Sundays from this upcoming Sunday. Gobble gobble gone? Cue the ho ho ho. Speaking of ho ho, where did this guy we call Santa Claus come from? The easy answer is the North Pole, but seriously, in history, what's with this guy? I submit to you the following blog. From humble beginnings to global icon. The jolly figure we know as Santa Claus has a rich and fascinating history, drawing inspiration from various figures and folklore traditions over centuries. His origin can be traced back to a 4th century Christian bishop named St. Nicholas, who was known for his generosity and kindness. Legends surrounding St. Nicholas's acts of compassion, such as anonymously giving dowries to poor women, contributed to his association with gift-giving. However, the modern-day Santa Claus is a culmination of various influences. In the 17th century, Dutch settlers brought the tradition of Sinterklaas. It's a gift-giving figure who rode a white horse and carried a sack of presents to America. Sinterklaas, in turn, was inspired by St. Nicholas. Over time, Sinterklaas evolved into Santa Claus, with his name becoming an Americanized version of the Dutch Sinterklaas. Further shaping Santa's image were literary works like Clement Clarke Moore's poem, A Visit from St. Nicholas, which was in 1823, which describes Santa as a jolly figure with a sleigh pulled by 8 reindeer. Additionally, cartoonist Thomas Nast's illustration for Harper's Weekly in the 19th century solidified the image of Santa in a red suit, fur trimmed coat, and white beard. Today, Santa Claus transcends cultural boundaries, bringing joy and wonder to children worldwide. His evolution reflects the power of shared stories and traditions, reminding us of the importance of generosity, kindness, and the spirit of giving.
You can't escape a traffic jam. Know what else you can't escape? Seasonal allergies. And you might think you can avoid that coffee stain until... Oh, really? You can't escape a lot of things in life, but you can escape prediabetes. Prediabetes captures 1 in 3 adults. There are usually no signs of prediabetes. In fact, most people don't even know they have it. But with early diagnosis, you can change the outcome and prevent or delay type 2 diabetes. Take action by taking the 1-minute risk test at doihaveprediabetes.org. You might not be able to escape having this song stuck in your head, but you can escape prediabetes. Go to doihaveprediabetes.org today. Brought to you by the Ad Council and the Centers for Disease Control and Prevention.
Who is the winner and who is the loser this week? The loser is Hongli Group Incorporated. That's HLP. They design and customize, manufacture, and sell cold roll formed steel profiles for machinery and equipment. And they do that in the People's Republic of China, South Korea, Japan, and the US, and Sweden. It serves mining and excavation, construction, agriculture, and transportation industries. After hitting a high last week of $5.51, it fell all the way down to $1.86 yesterday on no news. So who's the winner? It's Vivos Therapeutics Incorporated. That's VVOS. And Vivos is a medical technology company which develops and commercializes treatment alternatives for patients with dentofacial abnormalities, obstructive sleep apnea, and snoring in adults. The stock price soared after the medical device maker got regulatory clearance for removable oral appliances that treat obstructive sleep apnea. VVOS closed last Friday at $4.07 and ran all the way up to $48.87 at one point on Wednesday. Oh, I missed that one. Make sure you listen to our daily pick of the days, Monday through Friday. Thank you for joining us today for another edition of Arbitrage Weekend News. You can always find us at arbitragetrade.com and all social media platforms. Enjoy your weekend. Arbitrage Trade Analytics LLC is a privately held research company. Arbitrage Trade Analytics LLC is solely responsible for the preparation and distribution of the contents of this podcast. The opinions offered in this podcast are for informational purposes only and are not intended to function as investment advice. Seek a duly licensed professional for investment advice. For more information about the informational research and services offered by Arbitrage Trade Analytics LLC, please visit arbitragetrade.com.